What's up, dude? Um, what are we doing? What am I doing, really? I am in a creative slump because I have little to none compassion and patience with myself and where I am in life, and I'm feeling overwhelmed with the idea of what success is to me and where I am in that tether of nowhere where I want to be and somewhere where I would like to be. I find I'm always striving, but I can't see any goals completed. I am not giving myself enough compassion or patience for where I am. Just a lot of hate. I was inspired by a filmmaker on YouTube that goes by Mike MCG TV. He made this really great film. To me, how I interpreted the film, he has lost contact with that side of him that was creative and found happiness in just being creative without the aspect of the pressure of finding success. And it was beautifully done. I really recommend everyone to watch it. It's a beautiful film. That really struck a chord with me because along the lines of doing videography and photography and striving for that kind of success, which is fine, I've lost the tether that held me to being creative just to be creative. I think I forgot why I wanted to be a filmmaker. If I didn't tell you what I'm about to tell you right now, this would all just be some beautiful neighborhood that you would never think. I used to be a crackhead running around rampant here. This gown is the same gown I died in. I overdosed 4 years ago. I think I forget why I started filmmaking. When I wanted to get sober and when I wanted to get clean and I wanted a new life for myself, I couldn't get out of that addiction. I couldn't get out of the idea that there was a better life somewhere else. Filmmaking, this life-saving idea, I can only create visually if I got sober. The only thing keeping me going was the space that you're on that side, I'm on this side, and the space in between. The space between the lens right now and me. The compassion I've lost and the gratitude I should have is gone because I forget how fucking hard it was to get sober and how stupid I was in this neighborhood. Okay, let's go. Hi. So this is actually where I used to live. I used to not like here in this parking lot. I used to live in just that apartment building over there, and I would watch this parking lot for hours. Thank creativity and thank filmmaking for every day that I'm not in that fucking window that I'm looking at right now, and I'm not watching this stupid parking lot. There's nothing here. What was I looking for? What was I trying to grasp? It doesn't even make sense. When you're in active addiction, when you're using drugs like that, you create these ideas and schemes in your brain that for reasons why you should continue doing drugs.
You got a license to film here?
Hey! What's going on? And this is as you know, actually, this is my neighborhood
Yeah.
where I used to live, right?
Yeah.
I think you've dropped me off here once or
Yeah,
twice.
no, I visited you here.
Yeah.
Bunch of
And
times.
so I'm going to the places I've relapsed in. I'm going back to like where I used to be a crackhead.
So you were stuck in a place and now you're revisiting those memories to fill them with light.
Exactly.
With creative pursuits, there's such a mix of emotions, and also sobriety is a close thing to me because I have friends who have done SAA in particular, Sex Addicts Anonymous, and I'm familiar with 12-step myself, and it's a process, the life of sobriety, because a lot of times a place in sobriety that you find is that it might be out of your control.
No, it definitely is.
Yeah, and you have to give up control in order to actually find peace and be cured.
It's actually interesting that you say that because I find that I'm trying to control too much of creativity through negative thoughts. So I'm very hard on myself. I'm very like, I've wasted this much time getting sober. Like I should be farther ahead.
What I found interesting in my journey, not to say that I necessarily would say that I'm an addict, but I have a journey that did intertwine with 12-step and at a time in my life, and I found it very valuable. And my mentor, he described the 12 step also as a 3-step, and the 3-step was clean house, trust God, help others.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where like clean
It's
house.
like faith, courage, service.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the simple version of 12 step where it's okay, first you're going to clean your house and just get rid of like anything that's bogging down your mental space.
Yeah.
Cuz like just like Jordan Peterson, he'll always say, you have to clean up your room because where does your mind begin and the world start?
You're really good at that.
Yeah. I am Jordan Peterson. And that's cleaning house, and then trusting God is where like you might have tried so hard so many different things, but you need a higher power to actually help you, because it's a deep trouble. And then the last one is helping others. It's just a positive thing to do, and it will help you.
Yeah, I find because like cleaning house for me was like first leaving that apartment. That was like one, because I think it enabled me too much to like be in that negative headspace of using. And,
Yeah.
And then two, what was the other one? It was
Trust God.
Yeah, because like after I overdosed, before I overdosed, I always had this like connotation of like using where I was like, it'll be different this time. Like maybe if I do this, it'll be different. Maybe if I do that, it'll be different. And it's interesting because during COVID, I got that CERB, and then I didn't have a job and I didn't have a girlfriend. So I had like all the three things that I always blamed when I got high. It was like I didn't have enough money, I didn't have enough drugs, I worked the next day. I had a person here with me. That's what ruined my high. It was never me, right? Because I'm the drug addict, so I would never like blame myself, right? But then after I overdosed, I felt my higher power really talk to me, like shake me, and it said, so you did it, right? Like you had everything you've ever wanted. You had the place to yourself. You didn't have a job. You had all the money you needed, and you had all the drugs you needed, and you still died. Like this happened. So you're gonna do it again, but now you know for sure that you can't do it. Like you can't, as the kids say, hang. You can't you can't do drugs. You can't use just a little bit.
So what you're saying is you almost like had it all, but
I did.
You weren't happy.
That's the thing. I did have it all. I had all the drugs I wanted. I had like 8 balls to myself, by myself. I didn't have anyone in there to stop me. I didn't work because it was COVID. I didn't work, so I had it all. And that's what happened, right? Like I woke up in this gown, and that's what my higher power was trying to tell me. It was trying to be like, this is what's going to happen. And the sad part is that like, and I truly believe this. That wasn't even the worst thing that could have happened. Like I don't know what's the next rock bottom, what's the next thing that could happen if I use again, but I don't want to find out. And like that fear has been very useful to me, because every time I want to use, I do the process of like walking with it. So I go in my head of like how I would get drugs and where I would get drugs, and it all leads to this gown. And I'm like, yeah, no, I guess I don't want it that bad.
Absolutely.
Whatever feeling I'm feeling when like I want to use, I don't feel it that. It's not that immense or intense that I ever want to use. Because sorry, I'm just
it's a beautiful story.
Because honestly, for me, the only reason why I relapsed and what led to my overdose was because I got too overwhelmed again with the success of not having it. I was working on one video and I really wanted to make it good, but I was too scared. No one was going to watch it. No one was going to see it. And I couldn't handle that emotion of failure. I couldn't handle that emotion of not being good enough, that I wanted to find importance. And when I felt important, or when I felt some sort of like peace or escape or reality, it was on drugs.
Tell me about your journey right now. Where are you going?
I want to be at a place where I can compassionately tell myself that I've done enough creatively. Like I can tell myself, good job every day. That's where I want to go, because that is extremely hard to be happy with myself.
What if I told you could do that today?
Like right now?
You can get to that place, and for the rest of your life you'll have it.
Like how?
That way that you can say good job. It comes for me it's come through gratitude, where I'm like, yeah. I have done it. You're doing it. You're on the journey. You've already been successful later. You're just getting to that place. You've already
Yeah.
been successful in your future. You're just moving towards that place in time. You already own your successes later. You've already made your great movies. You've just made them. They're later. They're down the road. So you're getting there.
Oh, so I need to learn how to enjoy the journey.
I think so. That's part of it, but also just pride and happiness that you're on the journey.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that. It's almost like I need to be grateful that I'm on the journey forward rather than still in that room looking at this parking lot.
Yeah, and perhaps even, oh, you need to be. You are. You're very grateful. I see it in you.
Yeah.
You can tune into that part and be proud of that and happy.
I'm proud of that right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy I'm here.
And
I'm
hence,
happy that you're here.
Yeah.
It's a cool coincidence. And also, like, I'm happy that I'm doing this.
And good job.
Yeah, I feel good.
Great.
I'm happy, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Good fucking job.
There it
That's
is.
fucking great.
Yeah. And tapping into that
Yeah.
feeling frequently.
Yeah, because, like, honestly, before I started filming, I was really concerned and worried about, like, doing this. I was like, this is stupid. No one's going to see this. But I don't even care at that point. I'm just happy I'm doing it.
You must.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you must. You're being called to it. Inspiration is an electricity, and when you tap into it, the things you do, you must do.
I need to hold on to it. I need to, like, how do you keep holding on to it every day?
I think you don't have a choice. Like, I think you are holding on to it whether you are or not. Like, that you're
But when
surging with energy.
But when I have my lulls, when I have my downs, what is that then?
The lulls and downs, like, you're going to be successful. That's a fact. That's where you're headed. That's all the drive. That's the power in your balls. That's everything that you're doing. So the lulls and downs must be a part of it. They have to be.
I guess, like,
Because I
was gonna say, I guess, like, if I didn't feel a lull for the past week, I wouldn't be doing this video and I wouldn't have had these, like, momentous inspiration.
Hence, yes.
Huh.
So you must be on the path.
I must be.
It must be part of the journey.
Fuck yeah.
It has to be. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. When you've accepted success is the destination, absolutely, then everything you're going through must be part of the path.
Holy shit, you're right. I am going to be successful.
Yeah.
I got this.
And whatever you're going through, it has to be part of the path. It has to be. It has to be empowering you.
Yeah.
It must be, because that's the destiny. That's what you were meant to do. Whatever feeling you're feeling right now is what you're supposed to feel on your path to success and the great journey. So whatever you're feeling is part of the journey. It has to be.
Cool.
Because we've decided that the destination is success.
I woke up on this bench once. Just I did I did a line. I opened my eyes and I was on this bench and I didn't have any shoes. I was in my underwear and I don't know what happened. I was cold, I was wet, and I had to climb back into my balcony. I'm taking in what Rizwan was saying. I'm taking in that idea of, like, I'm already there. I need to stop hating this path I'm on because I've worked so hard to get on this path. I've worked so hard to get on this path of creativity, and I've worked so hard to be where I'm at right now. There's no reason to have any doubts. There's no reason to have any regrets. Whatever has happened right now and will happen, it's very true. I will find success because I already have. I need to find peace in that. And I do, and I want to. I don't want this to be a weird, inspirational time where I just have this feeling and then that's it. I want to remember this. I want to cultivate inner feeling that I can do this, and I have done this, and I will do this. That's the thing I have to accept. I have to stop pushing. I have to let this thing pull me away. I have to let this thing pull me into where I need to be and stop fighting it. The only thing I remember before I died was the last line, and then I tilted my head up and I would see
my roof, the night sky, and then this piece of void. It was just black for what it felt like an eternity. It felt so nothing. It felt like peace and calm, and it felt as if I didn't have to think or do anything, and it was beautiful. And then I immediately, it was like my eyes opened, and I felt this thing grab me and literally pull me up. And that's when I felt the doctor like pull me, and I just remember him screaming, "Arturo, do you know where you are? We found you dead. We brought you back." Not like, that sounds comic booky, but that's just what I remember. That's like the gist of what he said. He said it so fast. He just said, "Arturo, we found you dead. You're back. Do you know where you are?" And then I was like, I couldn't speak. I couldn't say anything. And then he looked at my eye. I remember him opening my eyes, and then he was like, he's good. Okay. And then he checked my pulse, and it was so, it felt so real, but felt so unreal. And it feels every time I talk about it, like it didn't happen, because those moments and pieces, I couldn't believe was happening, and my brain wasn't ready to process it. So the way I remember it, it felt like a movie or Grey's Anatomy or ER, where I'm like, did that even happen that way? Are you sure? Like, all I remember is he was in, and then he was out, and then I'm like, was that guy even real? Was he really there? And it freaks me out to this day, to be honest. It's a scary thing. Oh man, that sucked. I remember after I died, I spent 5 days in the hospital just really thinking about my life. You know, I remember my higher power just telling me, I've explained this with Rizwan, but it reminded me of this idea of like, I had everything. I had all the drugs I wanted. I had all the money I wanted. I had all the time I wanted. There was no excuses. There was just me in this room, in this hospital bed with a tube in my mouth, IV in my hand. It was just me. And I just remember thinking like, I should have just finished that video. I should have just made those things. I would rather just like sit in that emptiness of not knowing if I'm going to be good or not knowing if I'm going to be successful or not, and just enjoy it. I sat there for 5 days just telling myself, I will. You know what? I had that same feeling I had when I was talking to Rizwan of just like, I will be successful. I will make this video. I will be okay. I will be happy. Because I was alive, and I was finally sober because they flushed everything out of my system. So for 5 days, I was completely sober, and it was fucking cool. Yeah. That all happened just right there. Here we are at the Royal Alex. This is where I came back to life, actually, you know? And I haven't been here since I died. I haven't been in this location. My friend Patrick Crossman, my mentor, picked me up just over there, actually, and which is pretty incredible. Like this is wild. Like I've literally never been here in so long. This is eerie almost. This is an eerie feeling. I think I've realized that I'm very self-centered. I think I've realized that I put a lot on myself to make myself feel better. I think I react in an angry, hateful way because it's easier to hate myself and think that people hate me and think that I'm not good enough and think that I'm not successful and think that I'm not doing isn't important, because that's easier than accepting that I'm not, that the world's bigger than me, that I'm not the center of attention, that I'm not, and that's okay. I think I need to accept that I'm happy just being me, and I'm happy doing this, and I'm happy being out of that fucking hospital, and I'm just happy because I need to let that happiness wash over me. Like maybe when I'm angry and when I'm anxious And when I'm full of all this hate, maybe it's because I'm pushing back on happiness. Maybe the universe just is setting all these things in front of me, and it's making my world way bigger than it needs to be, way bigger than I ever imagined, and I'm just not accepting it. And that pushback is the anxiety, that pushback is the anger, that pushback is the friction that is making me not accept it. I need to accept that I'm happy. I need to accept that I'm okay.